James, your host. Welcome to Vintage Bricks. Today we're going back to 1975 for the set 365, the Wild West set that goes back to the 1800s.
And during that time, this set would be pretty typical to have a city that has full of these little buildings built out. And this makes no difference. There's 4 roads going into our Wild West. And you'll see why it's wild here, because one of the first things we'll show you here is the Doc Holliday snake oil cart. Now, snake oil was something that was used in the Far East legitimately, but of course it was a sham, at this time period. Okay, here it is. Now, Doc Holliday was actually a dentist, but he probably did lots of other medicine too. And here's an actual photo of him. He only lived to be 36 because he died of tuberculosis. He did not die at the OK Corral, which we have a little snippet from this classic movie right here. Okay, there he is, that little eye wink. Okay, the Claytons, that put them. And then, of course, the shootout here with Wyatt Earp and Virgil Earp, and really famous. Of course, you got to love the black outfits that they were wearing. Now, the Pony Express, only ran for 18 months, which was surprising for me. It went from St. Joseph, Missouri to Sacramento, and we had some stamps that were released to kind of commemorate a short time to get the mail before the railroads. And you could stamp them here, and all of these Western themes had movies, and the Pony Express had several. And then one, Dead or Alive, was pretty comical, the Wild West, because they had some people taking advantage of the freedom they had out there. Let's come into town and meet the Minifigures. These were the early ones that didn't have the arms or the faces. Those came out about 3 years later. There's 9, so a huge number of minifigures. And the valuable piece is the white hair of one of the women in town. Now, it was 1975, so it was about 10 years before the regular, what we think of as Lego horses, came out. And I would say these boxes were a work of art. This was back in the days where the boxes were kind of almost as important as the set. And each little segment of the city or the town came in a box. It would fit into this nice styrofoam here. Beautiful artwork on the box. If you get this set, think about if you want the treasured box or not, because it's amazing. Now, a saloon in the Wild West was the meeting place. You'd go and have a drink, do a little, of course, there'd be a little gambling going on. If you want to gamble, you could just crowd around and watch. This was a very high-stakes game. I love these hats. Now, these old saloons and things are still around the town. We went to one last year in South Dakota, which was pretty cool. Now, Wells Fargo, which is still around today, was the banker of the West. And they were known for their stagecoaches that would go from town to town. And they usually have somebody riding what they call shotgun on top. And there was a movie called Stagecoach with our hero, John Wayne, in it. And you can see this had 6 horses. Now, every town had a sheriff or a group of sheriffs, depending on how big the town was. And, of course, one of the most famous group of sheriffs were the Texas Rangers. There's a group of them. They all had their rifles and their hats. Let's put the set together there and walk into town one more time before we say goodbye.
This has been a fun set to review and a great use of stickers. And, living out in the western part of the United States, the Wild West is a theme that is pretty dear to my heart. And thank you for visiting Vintage Bricks. And hey, please subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.